Hello, my loves. Happy Friday. I hope you guys do love on yourself and someone else today. Make sure that you are moving through the day with an open heart, Um, for those of you that are new here, hi, hello. I am Shawnee, your compassionate guide to empowerment and transformation. I specialize in making the language of astrology, mindfulness, and spirituality digestible for you. Together, we can definitely remove the confusion and usher in the clarity and commitment that you need for your journey. So make sure you tap in, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the link that'll be in my description box to go on my website and check out my offers. And just always know that you are heavily protected, highly favored, and divinely guided in all that you are and all that you do, okay? I know I look rough, y'all. I just finished working out, rolling around on the floor, doing yoga, journaling, doing all the things, okay? I got up a little bit late this morning. I didn't get up until 7 o'clock, and then I was on the phone with my wife for like 45 minutes, honey, because I had to tell her about these texts between me and my mama last night after she went to sleep. And that's what this video is about to be about. This is essentially going to be a video diary because today is Veterans Day. I did not have my therapy session this morning like I normally would, because it is a holiday, and I was like, I can skip a week. I'm about to go bi-weekly anyway. I'll be fine. And lo and behold, last night, me and my mom started texting. So I really could have used my therapy this morning. And so I'm about to do a video diary and talk to y'all a little bit just to get this shit off my chest so I can go on with the rest of my day peaceful and productive, okay? So, y'all, I gotta put on my rings, put on some earrings. Like, I feel naked right now. Sorry, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Can you open? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, my mother's birthday is September 25th. For her birthday, so let me back up. In March, my mom moved from Houston to Mississippi. Okay, I'm originally from Houston. I live in Houston, but I do still live in Texas. Okay, I don't like to say my specific location. Those of you that know. Those of you who don't. Okay. So in March, after I came back from Mexico, me and my wife take an annual trip to Mexico for her birthday. After we came back from Mexico, we actually went and saw her off. She moved to Mississippi. So she's been in Mississippi since then. I saw her, I want to say in May or June. She came down here with my grandmother to see me. She stayed at my house for like 2 days. It was nice, but I was kind of frustrated with her because of just a lot of things. Just not being in the space that she needs to be in, not doing what she needs to do. Me being tired of telling her the same stuff over and over, trying to be her mama, and her not being willing to get it together, and just a whole bunch of shit. So honestly, I wasn't in the best headspace, and I was not fully present when she was here. So by the time September rolled around, I was missing my mama. Me and my mama are fairly close, despite the issues that we may have. We're fairly close. She's like really the only person that I have. Like, I'm not that close with my family. I'm an only child. And so, she's like the only person that I really have, like, that's like, just that I know is like on my team for real, for me, other than my wife, of course. But as far as like family, like blood family, like, it's my mama and that's it. Like, yes, I have a big family because my grandmother has 5 sisters and 2 brothers. Well, she has 4 sisters and 2 brothers, and 2 of them have died. So, but nonetheless, I have a lot of cousins and all the things. My grandma had 3 kids. I have an uncle, I have an aunt. My aunt has 2 kids, my uncle has 4 kids. But because of my grandmother and how she is, my immediate family is not close. Like, we're just not. My mama and her brother and her sister, they're all like separate. They don't really come together like that. And so literally, me being me and my mama being my mama, me being the only child, it's just always been me and my mother. Okay? So I just wanted to give y'all that context so y'all can understand. Now, with that being said, as I stated before, my mother has her flaws. We've gone through our issues in the past, and I always choose to see the best in my mother because I love her. I know her trauma, and I just know that she's a misunderstood soul, and a lot of people give her a hard time, but she has a good heart. So I always try to see the best in her and excuse her foolishness and behavior. But in September, when I went to Mississippi for her birthday, which is September 25th, I went out there, I think on the 22nd, went to Mississippi. First of all, her house was not in a condition for anybody to be living in, let alone you having me drive 10 hours down here to stay. That's one. Two, you ain't got no type of accommodations for me. Like, the house is already not in that great of condition. Like, yes, I can lay my head down and sleep here, but barely. You don't have no accommodations. You don't have no food. You don't have any concrete plans. This is your birthday. You knew I was coming down here. We planned this. We've been talking about this for months. I even asked you if you wanted me to bring you down here instead, and you told me no. You wanted me to meet these people and all the things. So even though my intuition was telling me, no, don't do it, don't go, I went anyway because that's my mama and I love her. Went down there. I just told y'all about the living conditions. I wasn't even gonna let that be the reason why I didn't have a good time. So I let that go. And I was like, we just gonna power through this. We might just have to leave it a day earlier than we expected. Cool. So because the house was not what it needed to be, and we just didn't want to be sitting up in there all day, we decided to go to Pensacola to go to the beach. Those who don't know where Pensacola is at, it's in Florida. And it just has a prettier beach than you would get to at the Gulf of Mississippi. And it's only like 2.5, 3 hours away. Right? So we decided this is what we gonna do. So we go down there, and we discussed it at length the night before and everything with my mom. Her husband was at work. So I'm thinking he calls her while he's at work. I'm thinking she's discussing with him, he knows what's going on. Everybody's on the same page. We get up early, about 5:30, 6 the next morning to get on the road to head to the beach so we can get to the beach early and set up early. Immediately when they pulled out, obviously he was behind us because he had came in from work. So they pulled out. I'm thinking he gonna wait for us to pull out and then follow us because we know where we're going. We've discussed all this. I'm thinking everybody's on the same page. Immediately when we pull out, they go this way, we go this way. I'm calling her, hey, where y'all going? Why y'all not following us? I don't want to cross the intersection. We'll end up in the same direction. Okay, cool. I don't know Mississippi. Y'all say we gonna end up in the same direction. Cool. Whole time we driving, I don't see them. Not one time do I see them. I'm steady calling. Every time I call to see where they're at, her husband's yelling in the background. I don't know what his issue is, but he's yelling in the background. I'm trying to see where they're at. I'm trying to give them directions. He's yelling. I can't deal with the yelling and the foolishness and the ignorance. I just can't. I don't like it. I don't deal with it. It's just not something that I'm gonna digest. So I kept getting off the phone because I couldn't I couldn't get any words out, and we weren't getting anywhere. So I kept getting off the phone. Finally, we get closer to the beach. I stop to get us Subway sandwiches so we can have a little food, little chips, you know, a little something to eat on the beach, right? So I ended up getting 3 footlongs, one for me, one for my wife, one for my mama and her husband, because they don't really eat like that. So I was like, you know, they'll share one and it'll be fine. I'm calling them to see where they're at and what they want on their sandwich and stuff. They're not answering me. So then finally we get to the beach. We realize that the original part of the beach that we were going to go to is not dog friendly, and it's also not like the type of walk up that we wanted. So we were like, okay, where do we need to go? So it was just like right down the road, like not even a mile down the road that we had to go to get to the dog beach. Mind you, I'm still calling them this whole time, trying to see where they're at, how far they are, sending my location, all of the things. Finally, we get to the beach, and me and my wife get out. You know, we start setting up, and I'm calling to see where they're at. They're at a whole nother beach, obviously, because they went the wrong way. Didn't follow GPS, didn't listen to where I told them to go. She just in the car listening to Omar. He don't know where he's going. Never knows where he's going. They're both always getting into car accidents. So following them was never going to be an option for us, right? And my mama knows that. So I don't even know why she tried to. Anyway, they end up at a whole nother beach. They end up getting stuck in the sand. Somebody had to pull them out. This man is yelling, cussing the whole time, like in the background. I'm steady telling my mama, because I can feel my anger rising, because at this point it's like 9:30 in the morning. This man been yelling since 6 o'clock. I don't know what his issue is, because we discussed this. I'm thinking you discussed it with your husband. Obviously you didn't. Otherwise he wouldn't be acting like he's acting. So I told her before they even pulled up, I said, you need to get your husband together, because I'm not about to deal with his craziness. I'm not in the mood for it. And I don't have to deal with that chaos. You chose him. You deal with him and tell him to watch his mouth and tone when it comes to me, period. Like, I'm tired of the bullshit. So, they get there. And I'm like, you know, I'm going to be a big person. I'm going to be the bigger person. I'm calm. I walk down there, try to help them get their stuff out of the car. I open the back of the SUV, because they have an SUV. This man gets off the car and starts yelling in my face. And I'm like, Omar, you need to learn how to be a man. Every time we get into situations that are a little bit chaotic, you make it more chaotic by arguing, throwing fits, acting crazy, and you're not making the situation any better. You need to just calm down. We're trying to have some fun for my mom's birthday. Like, chill out. Like, what is all this extra for? I'm a grown-ass man. I'm from here. How y'all gonna tell me I don't know where I'm going? You're not from Florida. You're from Mississippi. You don't know where you're going. If you did know where you were going, you would have ended up at the right place. That's the whole point why GPS. That's why GPS exists. It's not like me and my wife just got in the car and said, follow us, even though we don't know where we're going. We was following the fucking GPS the whole time. So then he's like, well, I'm a grown-ass man, and I don't have to listen to y'all. I don't have to follow y'all. You're not acting like a grown-ass man, sir. You're acting like a child. And I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. And he's like yelling this close in my face, y'all. This close in my fucking face. Right here. First of all, anybody that knows me already knows, back the fuck up. Because I don't argue with people. One thing about me, I'm not finna go back and forth with you, spewing a whole bunch of insults. I'm not about to curse you out. I'm not about to do all this low-blowing and violent speech. I'm about to tell you about yourself, matter-of-factly, with some tact, and keep it moving, or I'm about to drag your motherfucking ass. So this man yelling this close in my face, I'm like, Omar, back up. Get out of my face. He's steady yelling this close to my face. I'm steady telling him, back up. Get out of my face. He's steady yelling. So I pushed him back out of my face. Like, just two-hand, get back. Right? Just pushed him back. So he stumbled back a little bit. He didn't fall, but he stumbled back a little bit. I guess he wasn't expecting me to be that strong. Cool. Do y'all know, after I pushed him out of my face, this man swung and punched me in the side of my head and then kept on swinging? So I kept swinging. I'm throwing shit. At this point, it's ratchet, it's ghetto, it's crazy. Because I'm throwing shit, I'm swinging, I'm yelling. Like, shit was escalated, y'all. I'm not even gonna hold you. At one point, y'all know the small beach chairs that you just fold and you just like sit in the sand? At one point, I remember picking one of them things up and throwing it at him. And I remember saying, bitch. Like, it was crazy. And in the midst of us tussling, fighting, I fell, which is how I broke my wrist. I fell, and then even after I fell, I got up and I was still ready to fight. But something clicked in my head at some point and was like, why are you trying to fight this grown-ass man in a state that you don't live in the middle of a parking lot with all these fucking white people? You need to call the police. So I did, y'all. I called the police. I stepped back from everything and I called the police. While I'm on the phone with the police, this man is taking all of my mama's shit, throwing it out the car, cussing me out, cussing her out, telling her she ain't shit, she ain't gonna be shit, she don't have shit, telling her fuck her and her gay ass daughter and her drama, and like just being completely disrespectful and out of line, literally for no reason, y'all. I have no reason to sit up here and lie and try to make myself look like anything. I'm not a victim at all, but in this particular situation, I was a victim. Because I didn't do shit. Like, I didn't do anything. All I did was defend myself. Hold on. I think these people at the door with my groceries. Bigelow, stop this. Instacart some stuff so that I can do some things while my wife is at work. I need to bathe this dog and wash his stuff, and we needed toilet paper and dish soap and shit like that, so I had to Instacart real quick. But so anyway, like, y'all, I didn't provoke him. I didn't do anything. Like, all I did was push him to get him out of my face because he was I already felt threatened, like he was about to hit me to begin with, because he was this close to me yelling in my face. So anyway, I called the police. I'm on the phone with the police. He's cursing me out. He's cursing my mom out. He's throwing all her shit. He tries to get in the car and back up, almost hit my mama, end up hitting the cooler behind the car. The police have to pull him over and detain him to take our statements. So I tell the police everything that happened, just like I just told y'all. My mama is down the road from me, standing by him, talking to the police. And my wife was not down here for this. I didn't end up calling my wife until after I got off the phone with the police to tell her to come down and help me help my mama get all this shit, because all her shit was literally just sprawled out across the parking lot. My wife was on the beach still with our dog, finishing setting up. So she comes down and I tell her, because first she's standing with me as I'm talking to the police. Then she goes down. I tell her, go check on my mama. because I don't want to go down there by them. She goes over there, and y'all, within 5 minutes, my wife comes back and she's like, I had to walk away because I was getting pissed off at what your mama was saying. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, she was downplaying everything to the police. She told them he didn't hit her, he didn't try to run her over, he hasn't been drinking. She made it seem like y'all really didn't get into a physical altercation, that you're just being dramatic. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Mind you, the whole time I'm talking to the police, I got my arm up like this because it's in so much pain. I got a bruise on my head. My fucking toe is bleeding. Like, and the police officer saw all of this shit. And 2 other people had called the police that didn't have nothing to do with the situation because they saw him putting his hands on me. So the police decide, because the other people that had called, they left and they didn't stay to give their statement, and me and my mom had conflicting statements. They just decided they was gonna let him go because, I mean, we're not from there, they're not from there, and they just felt like it was some domestic shit, I guess, that they didn't want to deal with. Okay, fine, y'all let him go. I don't want this man around me. So they basically told him he had to leave. He can't be on the beach. Do y'all know that my mama literally got in the car with this man and left with him? And then after the fact, I had to call her to check on her to see where she was at and to make sure she was okay. She ain't call me. She ain't check on me. She ain't ask me, are you okay? It's like, do you need anything? Like, I'm sorry this happened. None of that. What she tried to do is flip the situation and make it about her and make it seem like she's the victim. So when I wasn't standing for that and I stood on business and told her exactly how the fuck I felt about that, she ain't like it and she went silent. And then this is on a Saturday that this all happened. That Saturday night we drove to Louisiana to stay with my wife's best friend, then had to turn around, get up the next morning and drive from Louisiana to Houston, and then from Houston back home. So that Monday morning, I go to the doctor. They confirm that my arm is fucked up. I'm gonna have to get a cast. I send my mama a picture of my arm in a sling and tell her what's going on with my health. The next week when I go get my cast, I send her a picture of the cast. Do y'all think she responded to me or said anything? So then it was like within the last week, she's been on my Facebook liking and commenting on stuff. So last night, and when I was at her house, y'all, this is petty, okay? Y'all can judge me, I don't care. This is petty. But when I was at her house, I signed her into my Amazon Prime so she could watch Amazon Prime on TV. And plus, it was a show that I wanted to watch while we was over there. Do y'all know that I logged into my Prime on my TV last night and I see all the profiles? Usually it's Shawnee and kids. Like, that's the profile, Shawnee and kids. It's a big ass red box, say Omar, on my goddamn TV. That pissed me the fuck off. First of all, tell your motherfucking husband to stay off my shit. And I deleted the profile and I changed my motherfucking Amazon password. Because y'all can watch the shit. I signed you in. It's not that big of a deal. But this nigga has the motherfucking audacity. The motherfucking audacity to make his own motherfucking profile knowing that I don't fuck with him. Are you fucking kidding me? Hell motherfucking no. Hell motherfucking no. The fuck? So anyway, the past week she's been liking and commenting on my shit on Facebook. So I texted her and I said, stop liking and commenting on my Facebook like everything is cool when you haven't said anything about this situation that happened over a month ago. You haven't taken any accountability. You haven't made any apologies. You haven't tried to come to any type of resolution or conclusion, but you liking and commenting on my Facebook posts like everything is fine. Don't do that. That's triggering for me. That's exactly what I told her. And I told her, tell your husband to stay off my Amazon. Because I told her already, like, after this happened, because this is not the first time that I've gotten into it with this man. This is just the first time that it got physical. I told her to keep him from around me. I don't want to see him. I don't want to hear about him. I don't even bring him in my presence. We cannot breathe the same air. I told you that a month, 2 months ago when this shit happened. So why would it be okay for this nigga to be creating his own profile on my Amazon? Like, make it make sense. So I told her that. So then she gonna text me back talking about my hold on, y'all. Then she gonna text me back talking about my attitude is misplaced and she don't know why I have an attitude with her, and she was just giving me space to calm down. And y'all, I just went the fuck off, because first of all, my attitude is not misplaced. This is your fault. This is just as much your fault as it is your husband's fault, because you clearly didn't communicate with him what was going on. That's exactly why he was irate and attitudinal the whole motherfucking time. That on top of him drinking and being motherfucking drunk. That on top of him drinking and being motherfucking drunk before 10 o'clock in the goddamn morning. That's one. Two, you are my mother. I should not be the one calling and checking on you to make sure that you're okay, make sure you're not getting your ass whooped. You should be making sure that I'm okay, because this grown-ass man did put his motherfucking hands on me, and you know I ain't never been in no situation like that before. On top of that, this is not the first time that you let this dusty-ass motherfucker disrespect me and get away with it. And on top of that, you have just not been a good mom. And all this shit triggers my motherfucking childhood issues, because all the times when you were supposed to be there for me in the midst of tragedy, in the midst of me going through my pivotal moments of growth as a child, as a fucking teenager, as a fucking young adult, you couldn't do it because you couldn't get your shit together. So I'm not gonna read y'all these texts verbatim, but I went off and I didn't curse my mama or anything like that, but I just said facts. And she was like, I'm sorry for, no, she didn't even say I'm sorry. She said, I hope you can forgive me for all the things that I put you through, and know that it's not my intention to hurt you, or something like that, she said. And I mean, it was like, when she responded to me going off, you could tell she put more thought into it. But to me, there was still no accountability. There was still no apology. And I don't feel like she's interested in getting anything together or changing at all. And I don't care to have a relationship with her if she doesn't change her ways. And if she doesn't change her lifestyle. I don't. Because I'm tired of the chaos and I'm tired of the bullshit. And I've spent my whole fucking life mothering her, trying to figure out why I'm not good enough for you to change, trying to figure out why I'm not good enough for you to see that you need to do better, trying to figure out why you always let these bitch ass motherfucking niggas bring you down and put you into a place of dysfunction and destitute. And I've watched you do it time and time again. I've watched you choose men over yourself and over me. I've watched you be unable to be alone and even surround yourself with toxic ass friends who bring problems into our lives and our household just because you can't be alone, you can't heal, and you can't get your shit together. I've sat back and watched you refuse to go to therapy, refuse to get any help, refuse to be consistent enough to help yourself, And yet, somehow, some way, I'm just supposed to deal with all of this shit on top of my own shit. And then she gonna tell me in our text, gonna tell me, well, if you don't want to have anything to do with me at all as far as our relationship is concerned, I understand. Don't fucking say that shit to me, because that's unacceptable. You're my mother. Of course I want to have something to do with you. Ain't no motherfucking way this will be my child and I'll be saying that. I'll be like, you know what? I am so sorry. You're right. I can't go back and undo the past, but what we can do is move forward. And I want to do better. I'm ready to change. When I have kids, if my mama don't change, she not gonna be able to be with my kids unsupervised. And her husband for damn sure can't be around my kids at all, supervised or not. So my whole thing is like, I've been going to therapy for the last 6 weeks. And I just told y'all I ain't have my therapy appointment today because it's Veterans Day. And I told my therapist, she asked me if I wanted to move it early in the week. And I was like, no, it's fine. We can skip a week. I want to move down to bi-weekly anyway. So this will be a test. But child, last night, and then I texted her at 6 o'clock. Do y'all know she didn't even text me back until 11 o'clock? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I have high standards for the people in my life. And if you don't meet the standard, I'm just not going to fuck with you. I have cut off my grandmother. I have cut off my daddy. I have cut off friends who I've been friends with for 20 plus years. I don't give a damn who you are, but I'm not finna block and cut my mama completely off. At the end of the day, that's my mama. I need to have access to her. She need to have access to me. Then she gonna say you can block me on Facebook if you want to. I'm not about to block you on Facebook, ma'am. I'm not about to dismiss you and block you like I do everybody else. That would be so easy for me to just block you and not deal with you at all, and you not take any accountability or have any need to do better because I don't want to have a relationship with you. I'm not doing that. You're still my mother. You're not in the best of health condition. You're not in the best of living condition. I don't know what the fuck this crazy ass man got going on that you living with. So if some shit was to happen, I would never forgive myself, and you're blocked. And you can't get in touch with me. What? Like, it just don't make no sense to me. And then I've been, so that's what I was saying. So I've been in therapy the past 6 weeks dealing with this shit, and I've come to the conclusion that I'm okay. Like, I'm okay. I know I'm venting right now. I sound very angry, but I am okay. I just don't understand why my mother does not want to be a better person. Not even for me, for herself. And I have to stop putting myself into a position where I feel like it's my job to figure that out. But that's all I know. That's all I've done for my whole life. I'm 31 years old. It's going to be real hard to just turn that off. And then on top of that, like I said, I have very high standards for the people in my life. I am a type of person, if I love you, I will go above and beyond for you. I will go to the ends of the earth for you. I will make sure that I work for you in spirit. I will make sure that I work for you in the real life. And I will make sure that in my mind, I'm always sending positive, good, healing energy your way. That's just the type of person I am. I hold myself to a high standard. So for the people that are in my life, nobody in my life is allowed to treat me like a motherfucking option. If you treat me like an option, I'm not fucking with you. And it doesn't matter who you are. And also, if you refuse to see me for who I am and you just want to see me as who you want to see me as, I'm not fucking with you. That's why I don't fuck with my grandmother. Because my grandmother doesn't like me because of the issues that she has with my mother. She's looked at me through a dark lens my whole entire life, and she doesn't see me as who I am. She sees me as this person that I completely am not. And she holds grudges. She's petty, she's manipulative, she's narcissistic. And I've tried mending fences with her, but she's emotionally abusive and I don't have the time to deal with it. That's why my mama is the way she is. That's why her brother and her sister have the relationship that they do. Because of her. She started all this shit. And she won't get the help that she needs, go to therapy, apologize, or take any type of accountability either. So shit, the apple don't fall too far from the motherfucking tree. Here I am trying to break these goddamn generational curses. And of course, I get fucking triggered. And I'm okay, like I said. I'm not like triggered to where I feel like I'm about to have a breakdown. But I just wanted to come and share this just to say, if you are somebody who has felt the need to mother your parents, just stop. It's not your responsibility. You don't have to carry that weight. And anybody that tells you that you do just because they're your parents is a fool. At the end of the day, your parents brought you here, not the other way around. You did not ask them to lay down in the bed and have sex. And in the case of my parents, they were never even in a motherfucking relationship. Literally fucking around and have no business fucking around. And then had me. So trust and believe me when I say, take care of you, baby. Because at the end of the day, if you're taken care of, if you're successful, if you're healing, if you're empowering yourself, everything else in your world will reflect that. When you are constantly set on trying to fill everybody else's cup, the only thing that you're gonna do is be empty, be drained, be abused, be used. And for what? For what? Because them people that you was trying to help, I guarantee you, they still ain't shit. They still don't have their shit together. They still haven't had any revelations. They still haven't changed. They still on the same bullshit. I'm not with that. I am a person who lives to evolve. I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. Do I have some similar qualities? Yes. But I am a changed person. I am a better person. I behave better. I conduct myself better. I speak better. I have more knowledge. I have more spiritual connection and awareness. I have better connections and relationships. Better community. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? And then I was thinking about, okay, so I did unblock my daddy a few months ago, but I still haven't reached out to him. I was thinking about reaching out to him, but I'm not about to reach out to him. You know why? Because the whole reason why I blocked him is because he wanted to treat me like a goddamn option. Nigga, how the fuck you gonna be missing my whole entire life and then only show up when you want to show up? And expect me to just jump when you say how high, and expect me to just chase you like a bitch that you trying to date. Nigga, I am not a bitch that you trying to date. I am your motherfucking child. The fuck do you mean? I'm having to call you and set up meetings with you, and if I don't call you and if I don't set up anything, I just don't see you. I don't hear from you unless it's convenient for you and you trying to show off for somebody. Like, make it make fucking sense. I don't have time to deal with adults who don't have emotional maturity. I don't have time for it. So I will not be reaching out to him until I feel like I'm not going to be triggered, because I don't want to be ugly. And one thing about me, I am a Capricorn, Sun, Leo, Moon, Scorpio, Rising, baby. When you piss me off, when you do me wrong, if I feel slighted by you, I can be a cold-hearted motherfucker. I really can. I'm not even gonna lie. I be trying to deny it. Oh, I'm not cold. I'm not mean. I can be a cold bitch if you push me to it. I sure can. And a lot of people try to play victim and act like I'm hostile because I told them about themselves. No, you had me fucked up. I told you you had me fucked up. And then I started treating you like you had me fucked up. You don't like that, because what you want me to do is just still treat you the same even though you have me fucked up. That's something I'm not willing to do. Once I realized you want to take advantage of me, you want to keep crossing my boundaries, you want to keep on being on some bullshit, I'm gonna start treating you like that. I'm not gonna be mean and cold and bitchy every time, but I will feed you with a long-handled spoon. And most people don't like that because I'm a very loving, caring person. When I take you in and I love you, I'm nurturing. I take you in and I'm about that shit. Like, I will send you hugs, I'll check on you, I'll send you love, all of the things. Like, I'm constantly praying for you, all of the things. Whatever you need, I'm right there. Once I start to feel like you're taking advantage, or you don't appreciate me, or you're constantly crossing my boundaries after I've spoken to you about certain things. Because one thing about me, I'm not one of them people that's just gonna let you hang yourself and then cut you off. I don't do that. I am very communicative. I will tell you, this is what you did, this is what I don't like, this is how it makes me feel, and I would appreciate it if you could refrain from doing that in the future. And if you keep doing it, then you just get what you get. And if I cut you off, then I cut you off. And my daddy, he be talking to my family, my mama's side of the family, because they all live in the same area of Houston, and they be crossing paths, seeing each other. And he really be trying to play victim and act like I just cut him off for no reason. No, I cut you off because you didn't do what you were supposed to do as a father. And then when it came to one of the most important days of my life, my motherfucking wedding, you couldn't even be present. Like, you couldn't even come through and be consistent. And I've given you time and time and time and time again to show and prove me wrong, that you're only a daddy at your convenience. You haven't done it since I was 18. I got married 2 years ago. You had enough time. Like, whoo, child. I don't know. Just having parents that are not good parents, that are not like, can't get their shit together. I have felt so angry, so abandoned, so isolated. I felt inferior because I've had to carry the weight of the world on my damn shoulders since I was a child. And I'm just starting to realize, like, I was fucking robbed of my childhood. I was robbed of my teenagehood. I had to become an adult and become independent way too motherfucking early. And now, I don't know nothing else. And even when people try to be there for me, I'm not really fucking with it because I don't trust nobody. Like, it's just fucking ridiculous. Like, I just, anyways, I have vented and fussed and cussed long enough. My whole point in making this video is, if you need to heal, heal. If you need to cut people off, cut people off. Stop trying to mother your parents, because that was never your job to begin with. And when people don't respect your boundaries, take that as a sign that they don't respect you. Because essentially, that's what it boils down to. And I don't know about y'all, but me, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not dealing with nobody who don't have no respect for me, who can't see me for who I am. People who try to make me small. Like, I'm not dealing with none of that. I don't have the time or energy for it. It's you. If you don't have big energy for me, I don't have no time for you. If you can't come behind me like I'm coming behind you, I don't have no time for you. Period. I'm not finna fight harder for nobody than they fighting for themselves, and I damn sure ain't finna fight harder for nobody than they fighting for me. I have done that for a long ass time, and I am motherfucking done with that shit. Do you hear me? Done. Postcard from Spirit, baby, and I'm gonna end this. Dear you, sometimes you just feel like no one understands you. You're not heard, or even that you don't count. This, my dear, is a terrible illusion. And although your feelings tell you that abandonment is real, well, we who love you know better. You are never alone, and even when rejection happens, you are ultimately being protected So better things can replace what wouldn't have worked in the first place. Everyone on this side of the veil is watching over you and rooting for your ultimate success. Life loves you, we love you, and you are a unique spark of the divine and always connected to the light and to source. You are always in our care. Trust and keep the faith. Love you always and forever. So interesting that this is the card that comes out, because I do. Sometimes I feel like no one understands me. I feel like I'm not heard. I feel like nobody sees me. I don't even matter. I'm just a drop in a motherfucking bucket. Sometimes I really do feel like that. But I know it's an illusion. And I know that, like, if I die tomorrow, I'll be happy that my impact has been felt. My purpose hasn't necessarily been fully fulfilled, but I have walked in purpose the last 2 years. So I would be happy with that. When rejection happens, even when rejection happens, you're ultimately being protected so better things can replace what wouldn't have worked in the first place. I have been saying that what happened in Florida for my mom's birthday was a blessing for me. Was it painful? Yes. Did I feel abandoned? Yes. I was physically in pain, mentally in pain, emotionally hurting. But that situation happening really forced me to see my mother for who she truly is, and to take off my rose-colored lenses and blinders when it comes to her. And not only that, but it also forced me to see I can't just keep tolerating her husband, because that's what I've been doing, just tolerating him. I cannot deal with him at all. And God is about to put me into some places that my mama, her chaos and her energy is not going to be welcome. God is about to put me into some room and spaces where that trauma from my childhood is not going to be welcome. And this was a time to release it, a time for me to heal it, a time for me to move on. And I've been doing that. Is it easy? No. Do I have good days and bad days? Yes. Is it a process of grief? Yes. But I know that it's all working for my greater good. And that was definitely confirmation of that. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. And I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all Friday. I'll be back a little bit later to do love, sex,